This is Max Spang with Snobby Beer. Thank you for helping me with the first 50 reviews, and here's to 50 more reviews. Cheers. Hello everybody, and welcome to a very special Snobby Beer review. This is my 50th review, so that's awesome. This has been a lot of fun. Here's the 50 more. I'm Max Spang as always, and we've got 2009 vintage Bourbon County Brand Stout, which is a stout aged in bourbon barrels, and it comes to us from Goose Island Brewery in Chicago, Illinois. I posted this on Facebook. I questioned, which of these following beer, I had a list. Which of these beers would you like to see as my 50th review? And this won by one vote. So thank you to everybody that voted. Just as a little side note, I noticed this tonight, but this was actually bottled on my birthday, 11/12/2009. So that's kind of cool. I thought that was pretty appropriate for my 50th review, a beer that was bottled on my birthday, but very excited. As you might be able to tell, I have a very, very slight cold, but it's not going to affect my beer tasting. It's more I sound a lot worse than I am. But I got this in a glass. I'm ready to drink this. Let's get right to it. Alright, so the appearance for the Bourbon County Brand Stout. As you would expect, dark as night. Tons of alcohol legs in this one. Just clinging to the side of the glass. The head was probably maybe a finger. It's got like a mocha color, very small bubbles. Looks absolutely gorgeous. It's not really viscous or thick looking, but it's definitely an Imperial stout through and through. Alright, so the smell for the Bourbon County Brand Stout. Just tons and tons of licorice and dark chocolate, some coffee, not very much booze. There is a slight booze twang, but considering it's 13% alcohol and it was aged in bourbon barrels, not as boozy as I expected. But there's just molasses and raisins and dark fruits, and the bourbon comes through. Although the bourbon is very subdued, I'm wondering if that's from the however many years of age. We're 2012 now, right? Anyway, but yeah, this is just a ridiculously complex smelling stout. Here's to 50 more reviews. Alright, so the taste of this bad boy, it follows the nose pretty closely. Tons and tons of stuff going on. You get some really nice, thick bready notes, and you get some, raisin. You get that dark roasted, stout character. Plums, even, maybe. You get licorice in there. The bourbon comes through, but it's not overpowering in the least bit. I've definitely had bourbon barrel-aged beers that were just over-the-top bourbon. It tasted like bourbon light, but this one, the bourbon character is there, but very, very subtle. You get vanilla and chocolate and coffee. There's just a ton going on in this thing. All of them are just fantastic, and it's very, very smooth. Nothing overpowers anything else. It's not just overly sweet, though it is quite sweet. There's some nice bitterness that backs it up. This is just awesome. Really slight booziness, which is sort of to be expected with a 13% beer. But actually, that alcohol flavor just kind of works with everything else. It's not off-putting at all. It's very, very good. There's definitely some residual sweetness, and there's a caramel and toffee flavor in there too. Alright, the mouthfeel for this beer, it's very, very smooth. Almost no carbonation to speak of. There's just a little bit, but it's definitely not enough to scrub the flavor away. Pretty easy drinking, although it's definitely a sipper. This is not the thickest stout that I've ever had, but it is very thick. It's kind of got that creamy, oily mouthfeel that you get with these just big, massive, motor oil beers. As for the score for the 2009 Bourbon County Brand Stout, drank at the beginning of 2012, I gotta go with 5 out of 5 on this one. This is absolutely exceptional beer. For anybody that may have a 2009 right now, it's drinking awesome. But it's just very smooth. Everything is balanced. It leans a little bit towards the sweet side, but you kind of expect it with a beer like this. It's not just a bourbon bomb, which I'll admit I was a little worried about. I thought it might be a little bit too much bourbon, but it's not at all. Booziness, it's there, but it's not as bad as it could have been. I've had beers that are, that have like 7% alcohol by volume that taste boozier than this one. But this is just a ridiculous, probably one of the most complex stouts that I've ever had. That wraps it up for the 2009 Bourbon County Brand Stout. 13% alcohol by volume. Highly acclaimed. If you guys know anything about beer, you've probably heard of this beer. There's a few different variations of it. This is just a normal one, but it happens to be from 2009. So you guys know what to do. Grab a beer, leave me a comment. Let me know what you think of the Bourbon County Stout. Very highly acclaimed. And thanks again to the people who voted to see this as my 50th review. I'll see you next time. Cheers.